Imagine you've had a long day at work when you come home to the smell of a delicious gourmet dinner cooked by your partner. We're talking lobster, we're talking foie gras, steak, the works. And then they announce that they've just written you a song, just praising how special you are and how much they love you. And it's actually not that cringy, but it's really good. The lyrics are great, the harmony is great. It sounds amazing, right? I think I'd love that anyway. But what would make me not like it? What would make me turn down the filet steak and the cantata written for my honor? In our passage today, God does something very similar. Amos chapter 5, verses 21 to 23 says this: I despise your religious festivals. Your assemblies are a stench to me. Even though you bring me burnt offerings and grain offerings, I will not accept them. Though you bring choice fellowship offerings, I have no regard for them. Away with the noise of your songs. I will not listen to the music of your harps. Here, it's almost like God is tripping over his words to express how he feels about Israel's worship. I hate. No, wait, that's not strong enough. I despise your religious festivals. And he's not just indifferent, but the assemblies are a stench to him. What was once the smell of a steak dinner now smells rotten. And what was once the sweet music of their songs is now nothing but noise, and he will not listen to them. But why? Well, if we read the whole book of Amos, it becomes clear that this worship is only there on a Sunday, and even at that, it's pretty dicey. The northern kingdom of Israel was enjoying a time of prosperity and success, living in these mansions, lying on ivory beds, enjoying wine by the bowlful. But this prosperity hasn't led them to glorify God, but the opposite. In their temples, they've turned to idols instead, golden calves, prostitutes, and shrines to their king. But yet they still offer these token worship sessions to the Lord. But even then, it's just so they can brag about how much they're putting in the collection box. And this perverse relationship with God hasn't just stayed in a nice, neat little box, but it's spilled over into how they treat each other. As you read the book, you see that a massive concern for the prophet Amos is how they're treating the poor, selling them for a pair of sandals, exploiting them for their own gain, trampling on the needy as they lounge in their mansions, bow to their temple idols, and boast in how much they are simply doing for the Lord. And God won't have it. It's as if this partner you have, right before they wrote you that song and made you that dinner, had just come from their second home in their ski resort, where they spent the whole time with their other secret partner, betraying your union. And not only that, but as this was going on in secret, they were neglecting and exploiting your very own children, the ones who were particularly poor and needy and vulnerable and alone. You know, where there should have been compassion, there's callousness and there's cruelty. At that point, no matter how beautiful the music is or how decadent the food, it not only means absolutely nothing, but it's actually repulsive when you know how little they care for you and for your children. Like, all it is a show. And God won't have it. He warns the Israelites that if they continue with this false worship, he won't just not listen to it, but he'll turn the volume off completely. In that day, declares the sovereign Lord, the songs in the temple will turn to wailing, many bodies flung everywhere, silence. Now, while these verses are pretty heavy and hard to hear, there is a kindness in the warning sign to turn back. It's not their fate yet, but a warning of the danger that is to come if they continue the way they are. And there is a way to turn. So verses 23 and 24 again, away with the noise of your songs. I will not listen to the music of your harps, but let justice roll on like a river, righteousness like a never-ending stream. The Lord doesn't want your music or your offerings if he doesn't have your heart. As Amos exhorts us, seek the Lord and live. Hate evil, love good, maintain justice in the courts. Perhaps the Lord God Almighty will have mercy on the remnant of Joseph.